host. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start we're going to start looking at how we can use Avaz. So this session will have to be very, very interactive. You will have to keep a paper and a pencil ready if it's possible, and just keep looking at how you can really make this happen. Start getting ideas and start putting them into practice in the next week. Okay.
Yeah.
Sharing my screen. So can we just think, can all of you just use the chat box and tell us what are the core words that you have identified to work with your child? What are some of the core words that you've started or you have identified and you've said that this is definitely something that we would want to work on?
Okay, I've got I want.
Yes, there is an I want. Okay. Anyone else?
Want.
Want.
Eat. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
More. Okay.
Okay.
Go. Go. Yeah. Drink.
Okay. Yeah. If there's anybody who is not yet answered, keep answering so that we'll also have the next question coming in. When will you work with your child on these core words? Have you put in a time? Have you thought about the situations? Because that was what we did last. For those of you who missed the last session, we did have a script for the modeling. We'll share the video in a while. The last session's video, we'll share it in a while. But have you been able to identify the time when you will be working with your child on these core words? If you have not, then think of it now and put it down.
Which means like what time? It's not like the time as in the time, but
yes,
like what would you be doing when he does that? Yeah.
Okay. So
Daily needs. Okay.
when he's motivated by the objects for swimming. So ma'am, when you say for his daily needs, what do you mean? The word that I think you had said was also want, right? So what do you mean? So just think of that. Be very clear now. You should have it in your mind that this is when Avaz will be open. This is when I'm going to use it. This is where I will model it. And this is how I will get a response. So you should have that whole clarity. So try and put it down for yourself in that much detail. When you say daily needs, are you talking about eating? Are you talking about using the restroom? Are you talking what part of the daily activities, daily needs, whatever it is that you want for him to be using the word want?
For his restroom. Okay. Eating and playing. Okay. Before meals and going out. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
As well as eating and playing.
Sure. The ones who've joined in as like
jobless times. Okay.
So you'll have to define this jobless times. Start with playing time. Okay. Don't hesitate. It's not, there is no right or wrong answer here. Whatever you give is what, we'll either work around it, help you make it in a proper structure if you're not able to do it, or we'll give you some ideas. So there's nothing right or wrong. Anyone else?
It's very interesting. Skill training time. Yeah, I was just about to say that nobody talked about using Avaz during, like when you're teaching.
Yeah. When he's ready and regulated and ready to connect, like evening time. Okay. So when you keep it like this, Like when you say when he's regulated and ready to connect, it's a little vague for yourself. Okay, so when is he regulated and ready to connect? Is it after he gets up, after he takes a bath, after he goes out for his walk, after he does a crayon activity, coloring activity, and then he's ready? He seems more okay. So think of that as well. Don't keep it open. After meal, jobless is nothing to do. Use Avas to get his choices out of him. Okay.
Okay. After
Okay.
his meal, free
Mm.
time. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I want to now show you all the times that you can use Avaz. Okay. It's all day, every day.
So just a quick question, Smita, I just want to check. Is Avaz ready? Is Avaz out there for in the house for your child to reach out to? Just a yes and a no. Or is it inside a cupboard for you to take out? So it's out there. Okay. So your child can reach to it whenever he wants to, right? Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
So when you look at the word, when we look at when can you use communication, when do you use communication?
Okay, Shilpa, understand.
Say that. Okay. So when do you use communication? You use it through the day, from the time you get up till the time you sleep, right? So those are the times when they should also have their Avaz, which is why ma'am asked the question of how is it? Is it available? Is it always handy? Now, what are communication opportunities? It is when you're creating an opportunity or when there is an opportunity for your child to be able to use the device. It can be as soon as they get up. You can have good morning on Avaz. It can be when they're going to eat. What do you want to eat? It can be when they're making a craft. What did you make? What do you want to make your craft? Or I want to do it with you. Can I join you? Right? We talk, we communicate through the day with each other. The only thing that you have to add over here is that you're using a device to communicate with your child. That's all. Okay.
Yes.
So
Smita ma'am, Meenakshi ma'am,
Yeah.
just a doubt, ma'am.
Hmm.
Like as you said, whenever there is communication, you can use. But like for example, in Akshit's case, he's verbal and he communicates verbally. So even with along with verbal communication, we should also keep Avaz. Or should I be using it only when there is meltdown and he is not able to express why it's happening? What
Okay.
is the reason he's
So
upset?
yeah, so just as a general thumb rule, when you teach something during a meltdown, you will not get a response.
Yeah.
Right? So that when he is in a bad mood or in a dysregulated state, definitely then the Avaz is going out of the window because it's a task. He doesn't want to respond at that time, which is why we say
No, no, I meant was after
ha,
teaching Avaz,
ha,
use it
ha.
only when that during the meltdown or when there is tantrum, he's not able to express why he's doing it. Use it only at that time, or use it along with, even though he's responding verbally also, still you use Avaz along with that. I mean, does it make sense? Because how would that I'm confused actually regarding
So
this.
this is what I would say. I would say Ava should be with you at all times. Okay.
Accessible at all times. Yeah.
All times. Okay.
Uh-huh,
So if
like you said, no,
suppose,
ma'am.
suppose,
Good. You said like good morning. So
yeah.
as soon as he wakes up, like if I go, he sees me. If I do the action of good morning, he himself says good morning, amma. So again, should he be using hours also and say good
No,
morning,
because he's
amma?
communicating, no? He's communicating.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
what.
he is
When to use?
communicating.
When to use? If he is a verbal child, when all to use Vavas?
Okay. So like ma'am said, keep it accessible, but you know the times. So Dhanu and ma'am also just come into this
Yeah.
when I'm answering this.
Yeah.
I think in my understanding, when I look at, let's say, Akshat, and I know that he's able to say good morning, he's able to speak, he can say stop, I want toilet, I want water, he's able to say all these things, right? But if he should know where Avaz is and he should be comfortable using Avaz at any time.
Yeah.
Whether it is a time that you think at some point he may not be able to say toilet, just because at that time it's either like it's too much. Sometimes you just have to go really quickly, right? So you're not able to get the words. If it is in such a case, or if he just like wants to express with Avaz, but it is something that you don't hand to him to use. It should be there that he gets it. So you get the difference. It's not like you are taking the initiative to make Avaz accessible to him. It is always available. He chooses when he wants to use it. And if he uses Avaz, it's okay. If he uses a gesture, it's okay. If he uses his words, it's okay. Anything is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know also, like, are you using it for him there in Pragati? Avaz at Pragati for him?
No,
Has
not
it
yet.
not yet?
But no. But it is not being used at all times. But during our group sessions, when we have our morning sessions, when we have our literacy classes, we are using Avaz for everybody. We are using it with Akshat also.
Okay. I would
Okay.
actually want to see a video or whatever if it's
Sure.
being used with him.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
that's why I'm saying Avaz is not, see, Avaz is a voice, right? Avaz is a voice for action. When he is finding it hard to communicate otherwise, or when he doesn't know the words to use, if he doesn't know, if he is not used to saying, I don't want to do this, which is not the case of Akshat, but I'm just giving an example. Or if he says, I'm not enjoying this, this is hard for me, this is difficult for me, right?
A more elaborated expression.
Exactly. So we need to expand the language for Akshat. For him, I don't want is something that he says all the time. But can he say why he doesn't want? Is it just too boring for him?
Reasoning.
Right? Yes. So can he tell you that I want a choice, I want to do something else, or I don't want this color? Can he say that instead of saying I don't want?
Okay.
So, for a child who is verbal and who communicates for his basic things, we need to work on expanding the language. And that is where I think today, some of it is something that you will be able to use, Divya, with him. So,
okay. Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
And also, don't just look at it as Avaz at this point. I know we are talking a lot about Avaz and
Yeah.
use Avaz, but a lot of this, if you feel like, see for Akshat, if you feel like you can do it without Avaz and it's easier, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Like Avaz is a tool, Avaz is an extra, okay? But if it gives him a ready access to the vocabulary, that's what we're looking at. So when like ma'am said, like a describe,
reducing the anxiety to choose words.
Yes.
Verbally.
Yes.
Readily go into a folder and say, okay, here,
Yeah.
too hot, I don't want to eat. Too hot, I don't want to get out of the house. Okay.
Yes.
So that's possible for him. That is an easy access.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, ma'am.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
My experience I will tell.
Yeah,
Actually,
please do. Yeah.
Before I am starting, I was a little more confused. Actually, Ashwin, little verbal. This using after that, that is speaking stop or like that. I am feeling. After that, he is actually yes or no. That small point, yes or no. He is a little confused. What I am asking you, what do you want? This you want? Yes or no? He little confused. Yes. Same repeat. He also same repeat yes or no, like that he repeat.
Yes.
But after that, showing us yes, this is yes, sir. He fixing. That fixing after that very clarity. Yes, yes means after no means no. That is clarity. Clarity wise also very improved. That was
wonderful. So good to know that. Yeah. So Sujani is saying that he would often just repeat yes or no. So if you ask yes or no, do you want this? Yes or no? He would also say yes or no. Not with that clarity that it is yes or a no. Not being able to communicate that. So now Yashwant is able to communicate that with clarity, right? He's communicating his choices more clearly. Yeah.
more clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's so basically what we're looking at, again coming back to this, is that the communication opportunities is something that we provide. Okay, in terms of, we'll talk about that also later, but at all times communication is possible. So once you get that, thinking about it in that manner, you will be able to start thinking of different ways and different times of the day where you can use this word. And it doesn't have to be, again, it doesn't have to be the device. It can be a low tech where you take a printout, right? You don't need to go to the playground with the device. Okay, if you feel like my child might just throw it into the water or something, like if you're going to a pool, you don't feel comfortable carrying it, carry it low tech. It's always easier. There's always an option. So then you start thinking about what are the different options I can give so that he's able to communicate. Okay? Yeah. So now here we're looking at greetings, right? So we've just put together all the different times of the day where you can use Avaz. Now, greetings, if so you have this folder, if all of you can just open it up so that you just start using Avaz again and again.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually don't know why I've put Smita over there. Okay, I think it was just to show that to somebody that you can add things into different folders, but you
Okay.
can. I don't know. So just if everybody can open into that, and in the meantime, have you all been able to find it? So if I want to say, if I'm going to teach a child how to use greetings, okay? So this is something that's on the Avaz website. We'll share the link with you. There's a ton of resources on the Avaz app, on the Avaz FAQ. If you go in and look at it, you will get multiple ideas on how to go through this. So suppose you're just teaching greetings to a child. You could always go to the quick folder. There's the greetings and manners. That's the folder in your quick folder. You can only keep hello and bye. You can hide the rest of it. You could only start with teaching hello and bye. Okay. You can start using it with the other people in the house by saying hello, mama. Okay. You have a basic folder. You put in all the people in your house. You can create a folder with the people in your house. Okay. I will show it on my Avaz in a bit. I'll just go through this once and then we can do it together. Now you can say hello, mama. Okay. Or hello, papa, whatever. And you model it over and over again so that the child is also able to use it that way. Okay. Even if the child is not able to respond, what we are saying at all times is to please model it. Model the correct way of working. And it does not matter if the child is not able to do it immediately. It will take some time. And once you show it, modeling does not mean I'm holding my app and I'm doing something and now you do. That's not what we're saying. We're saying you're sharing the screen, you're showing the child how to go through to the folders and show them how to do it, right? So I'm just going to come into this also so that I'll show you the app now. So we can all try it once.
Smita, are you sharing your screen?
I am.
Okay. Just wondering, while we are waiting, if any of you tried to customize Avaz with your own voice.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I had
Okay.
done with in Akshat's iPad.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Nouns
Yeah.
and basic nouns and all I had done.
Okay.
with my-
Yes. Yeah.
Especially the Idli pronunciation was not correct. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was saying, so I would.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not able to share.
That's why I was wondering. Yeah, because I'm not seeing it. Oh, is it because Vishranti is the host? No.
Vishranti has logged in with the same ID. No,
Ha. Now I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. I think I was trying to share it from, yeah, I was not in this thing yet. Okay, got it. Now can you all see?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can see now. Yeah.
If I go to the quick folder, I said quick folder, right? Okay. If I say the quick folder and then I go to greetings and I want to remove all these and I just want to have hello or hi and bye. Okay. So I'm just
Yes.
going to close all of this. Okay. And I'm going to hide it. And then I go to the basic and people. Okay. So I can hear there is all these mother, father, and all that. Okay, so I can edit that as well, right? So I go to the people. I edit words. I put let's say nobody calls anybody mother. So we say Amma.
Amma.
Okay. And here I'm saying.
And here even the picture can be, your own picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now I don't want any of these over here. I don't know why that is done. Must have done it while I was teaching something. Okay. Right. All right. So suppose I want to say, I say hi. Sorry. I say hi. Go back. And people. Okay. So we can use Avaz. This is a simpler, so this is one of the strategies that has been spoken about in Avaz in this thing, which I just showed you, where you're just starting off, right? You could use it this way for the students who are just starting off, who don't know how to do greetings. Okay. I went really fast on that. Is that clear though? I think we've done this many times now, so it should be okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's it's
There's
fairly
any doubt?
simple.
Yeah, so I will share this link and I will share the slide as the PPT as well, so you can all look through it and go through the Avaz ka link so that you'll have it in more detail. But what we want you to also look at is some of the things that we feel is very important is keep it natural. Don't force a hello. Don't force the child to say hello to you. Like, you've gotten up, you've spoken to the child for, oh, brush your teeth, do all these and fine and everything. And then after breakfast, you're saying, okay, now let's say good morning. Like that doesn't, nobody does that, right? Like it's pretty out. It's not the natural way of communication. You could use it in the morning. You could just have your Avaz board up and you could just say good morning. You could just point to it. It doesn't have to always be the device if it's difficult. Okay, and model it. Model how to use it. Keep modeling it until the child is able to do it. Okay, so this is something for the ones who are able to also do some amount of greetings. I think most of our children are at some level able to say hi. So what you could do is provide options in such a way that any of the responses is accepted. So if I want to say, so if my goal is that the child is reciprocating to a hello, I don't necessarily only have to expect hello as the response back. So if I said hello to one of you, what would your response be?
Hi, Smita. Or just this if I'm doing something else.
Yeah. Any other responses if I said hello? Hello,
Hi.
Dhanu, are
Hi.
you here?
Hey.
I can
Yes,
think of
say
hello
hey.
only.
Huh?
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello.
Absolutely, absolutely. You would
Yeah.
say
Hi.
hi.
What's up? Yo, what's up?
What's up? Huh?
Yeah.
Right? Like all of us have different ways. So it doesn't,
Hi.
nobody says, if you say hi, oh yeah, hi, how are you? Right?
Yeah.
Nobody always says, if I say hello, we don't naturally say hello only all the time. Our responses change and it's okay. So you could hello, hi, namaste, what's up, how are you? All those are options. And any of those options is okay. So suppose like how Fatima said, hi, how are you? Okay, so suppose I said hello and Fatima says, hi, how are you? I am, again, now there is a conversation which is built in, right? So I will have to say, I'm fine. And then, how are you? So
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Right? So the whole reciprocation goes in a different way if you don't force communication. That's the point that we're trying to make. Okay.
And especially
Hi,
when
icons.
somebody is
Yes.
asking, how are you? Don't, I mean, if the child says, I'm not fine, don't say, don't, you're not supposed to say, I'm not fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, this is something that we've seen a lot of the times the adults don't know how to respond to I am not fine. Right? We don't know how to say,
Yeah.
what do you say to I'm not okay, I'm sad. We immediately get on to why are you sad? What happened? Nothing happened from morning. Why are you sad now? Everything is okay only. No, you're fine. I think you're fine. I don't think you know what you're talking. So let's not get into that. Just accept whatever they say. So if suppose, Dhanu, let's do this.
Yeah.
Hi Dhanu, how are you?
Not good.
Not good? Oh, so you want to talk about it?
I'm feeling very tired.
Oh, okay. So you would still have like a little bit back and forth of something. Your child could
Yeah.
very well just say, I don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
And it could just be a babble. It could just
Yeah.
be because they're just babbling on the tab and they're just saying no, tired, whatever. I think, I don't know if Suman is here, but I think Rachit did that at some point. Not sure if she's here.
And many of the times, probably you wouldn't even know what really affected
Yes.
them. I mean, something must be just as simple as, now, why are you sitting there? Why can't you come and sit on the chair? It could be as simple as that. And you would have not
Yeah.
even read that as something that would affect the child.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So it's good to sort of rephrase, help, understand, support. Okay, so these are some of the strategies. Do you want to try something that we could do together? The child says, no, don't want any of those. All right, so I'm just going to leave you here for some time. You want to take some time off, whatever, whatever it is that works best with you and your child.
Yeah.
Work that out, and then you could move out. You can use Avaz even in those situations.
Yes.
Right? You could point it. Do not expect your child to point it. You just use it and move, but don't expect your child to keep responding using Avaz. Just because you have Avaz now, got lifetime subscription, we've got to use it, doesn't work. Sometimes you just have to keep using it yourself. Okay. So again,
Smita, just when we are on the topic of this greeting, right? So many times, greeting is always okay with the family members that you're with, but when you have to greet somebody who comes into the house, or how do you greet somebody when you go to somebody's house, right? That could be difficult for many of our students, even those very comfortable greeting at home. But what do I do when somebody comes to my house? Right. So I feel that is a good place for a modeling to happen. for so that we can help our children get comfortable, just that initial socializing with any person who comes home, because it could be difficult.
Yeah, I think in fact at this point of time, I think the parents themselves can model saying that I
Yes.
am not, I'm a little shy. I would require some time, or I'll talk to you later. These kind of options. If the parents themselves can model for the child, later the child can pick it up.
Yeah, or even to say that how are you today, even if a child can say how are you today, it might help to have that thing to say, oh, it said how are you today, and you just repeat that, how are you today, right? It I think it just helps with that anxiety, just coming in and having to greet that, having to say that to anybody, even if it is a cousin or even if it is a known person, but somebody who's not with you every day.
Every day, yes.
Yeah. And that's also a very good, so we've got that right at the end, ma'am, but that's also a very good way to sort of prepare your child for somebody coming in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
A lot of times just somebody dropping in is not very, for me at least, is not a very nice thing, because I don't know how to suddenly change the whole thought process. What am I supposed to say? So I blank out, and it's like I don't know how to say hi, hello, what did you do? Okay, now I'm done. I don't have any more conversation starters or enders. I'm finished. So it's a good way to prepare yourself for, okay, there is somebody coming. So these are these people. So now I have all these dialogues ready. Okay. During your meal time, you could easily use core words. Yeah, Mohammed prefers to stay in his room listening from there, and that's fine. So he could just probably come in for a little bit, just to say, if he just wants to listen to some conversation, he could probably just come and sit outside if he feels like it. Just be a part of just some part of it. Right? You could use,
Sorry.
So,
if Mohammed likes to listen, but he doesn't want the attention on him, it's good if you suddenly don't react when he opens the door and comes out.
Yes.
You don't have to say, hey, Mama, do you want to sit? Do you want to listen? Just avoid all of that. Just react as though he's just coming out for a water break or something like that. And, just don't even look at him. So he might want that. Some children actually would want that. So, at that point of time, just don't react so much. But once he gets used to it, maybe you would want to say, do you at least want to say bye to auntie? The bye would be a more motivating thing for them than probably the hi. Even though they, even though they don't want the person to go, but maybe bye is more okay than, say hi. So that is something to look at.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So we've brought in some of the words that you could use. Like a lot of you want to use the word want, eat, pour. Yes and no is something that everybody is probably using already. Stop, like, don't like, and all of those. During your meal time, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all those times, what do you want to eat? Right? So you can just click on want. Do you want more? You can click on more. Okay. And even something else that we were thinking about is, I don't know what we were thinking about. I just completely lost that thought. I'll come back to it. We have it later. Yes. So, right. So, just talking about what you want to eat tomorrow. So once the day is over, then you would want to think about, okay, tomorrow we have to prepare our meal. What are we going to eat? Do you have any preferences? Because you are getting ready. So I know that Anuradha ma'am, when she was working, and when she was working with Jashwant, used to ask him, what do you want tomorrow? So do you want dosa, idli, all those, so that you are prepared also for the next day, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Smita ma'am,
Yes.
can I just add something here? Because this is what I faced with the word more. So because more means curds in Tamil. So this fellow used to get confused with English more and Tamil more. So I just added some more in that. So whenever he wanted anything extra, I would say, you have to say some more. Do you want some more of this whatsoever? So then he picked it up and he could differentiate, because more it was confusing for them.
I think thanks, Divya. Yeah,
I
that's
think that's
very,
what
Welcome,
you
ma'am.
bring in is very important
Yeah.
to understand. Again, this comes as a part of customization. It's
Yeah.
important to understand how your child is probably processing the information that is there. It's not a one shot, every child has to learn to use the word more. Every child has to learn to use the word, whatever it is, right? So Divya knows her child well enough. You know, every one of you know your children well enough. So you know which word can be substituted. Just because we have said more is a core word that you have to teach right at the beginning, doesn't mean that everybody has to use more if there is a confusion like this. You could always choose to say one more, some more, extra, whatever, right? Like something else.
Yeah.
Okay. And what we want you to do is this, I'm pretty sure all of you will achieve. Okay. I know that every one of you will have your children saying want and eat at the end of the next 1 or 2 months. Everybody will be using it very well. But we don't want you to stop at that. We want you to keep commenting. As adults, you use it. Model it with your child to use more descriptions. Danu, I'll need you to come in here. Okay, so you might say, okay, what do you want? The child says, I want pasta. Okay, you've given the pasta. You could go to the folder, then you keep saying it when I show it on the
Yeah.
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 So
So,
you could,
yeah. So what you're talking about the advanced folder thing, right? Smita? Yeah. So what Smita is saying that, see, you can always model the child which folder to go to. Okay. Now what happens is sometimes when it is not available on the basic folder, you can model them by going to the advanced folder. You don't have to expect the child to go to the advanced folder. You can model by showing the child that, okay, see, I don't have, this word is not there in the basic folder. Let's try it in the advanced folder. See? So in advanced, there is a whole lot of options that are probably not there in the basic. Okay, but if you think that your child is in the basic folder, he needs to learn a lot more in the basic folder, then remember that you are not always only modeling from the advanced folder. Then your child will not understand why he has to pick the basic folder. Yeah. So say, for example, you're reading him a story or you're telling him something that has happened. Okay, that time you can say that, okay, for this, there's no word like this here in the basic, but let me go and search it in the advanced folder. It is there. See, we went and it was very exciting. So the feeling exciting, if it is not there in the basic folder, you can always go in the advanced folder and find it. I think it's there. Excited. It was there. Yeah. So under sick.
yeah,
So,
sorry, my butterfingers.
no, don't worry about that. So this is something that you need to do it with caution. Just because we tend to use a lot of words from the advanced, don't do it entirely from the advanced, because I mean, I'm telling it for those students who really need the basic folder. I'm not talking about people who actually would require only the advanced folder. But if your child is at a basic level, don't only model from the advanced. And every time when you're doing that, also you can just say that, see, this word is not there. Let's go find it in the advanced folder. That is the only thing.
Yeah. So I think any doubts up to now, like these are certain things that we've put in as examples in mealtime, but this can definitely be used, like she said, even while you're reading or you're doing something else, it can be used. If there are any questions so far, please do ask. If there are no questions, then I'll go ahead. Okay. So we go ahead. Is all this making sense? Is it helping? Yes, no?
Yes,
Show us a
ma'am. I
thumbs
think
up, give
this
us
is
a
Ma'am,
thumbs
good
up.
from
it's much.
example perspective.
Hmm.
So now I think the main thing is trying it out with the children on a regular basis.
Right. Okay. So the next thing that we want to look at is while you're watching TV, the same set of words, more or less, except for the word eat. Okay. So you still have want, you have more, you have stop, yes, no, like, don't want, all of those. Okay. You can do it when you're watching TV as well. What do you want to watch? Keep all the things that the child likes to watch in a folder, customize that, keep it together. You can comment. Now, again, commenting can be that I don't like this advertisement. I don't like it. Okay. But the only caution that we are asking for you to follow is don't make a leisure time activity into a demand activity. Don't make something which is a leisure time, like watching TV is leisure. Okay. Don't make it a task where the child has to respond only. Okay. And always, again, model all the time. You model it for the child to be able to use, to learn it. Okay.
Smita,
Now,
can you just give an example to just to uh, make us clearly understand what do you mean by not making it an activity, a job, an activity? What we
okay,
talked about, right? Yeah.
right. Okay. So suppose let's say you're watching, I don't know who watches Peppa Pig these days, but I used to watch it, so that's the only example I have. Okay. So suppose you're watching a show, or any of these, whatever the show they're watching. You want the child to say, I want Peppa Pig, or I want more. Okay. Um, you could pause at a point, so that gives the opportunity for the child to communicate that he wants more. Okay. So a little more of TV or whatever it is. But if the child is struggling and if it's not happening, you don't wait and say, now show me more, only then I will continue. Until you point to more, I will not show you. That's not how we are doing this, right? So you could say, do you want more? Point to more. Do you want more? Okay. And then the child would obviously either go to more or say yes or whatever form of communication, and then you allow for it to continue, right? So that, in my understanding at least, the task, it becomes a task when you say that until this will not happen. And a leisure activity cannot be that you will do this only then you will get that. That's the opposite of what a leisure time is, right? Like a leisure time is where you're stress free, not stressed out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't pause in the middle and say, oh, tell me what color is that ball that he's holding. The child wants to watch the program, so don't make it a question answer round, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. And Smita, at this point, I think even my understanding, if I'm not wrong, is that some parents like to play games with their children. Okay, and when you play games, right, don't focus extremely on the rules of the game that the child is not able to do. But rather, like, say for example, if you're playing something like Ludo, rather than getting into the whole rut of, like, unless you get a 6, you can't start the game. Rather than that, whenever the child gets a 6, so you can use your Avaz to say, wow, something like that. And like, constantly, if the child is getting like getting a 1 or something, you can say, oh, it's okay, you're just modeling that, but the child is still hearing, and the game goes on. That is something that you can do.
And this has nothing to do with Avaz. This is just just about including games, including leisure, and making language happen, whether you're not or not you're using Avaz, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, I think we've spoken about all these things. So you can talk about, oh, he was tall, he was short, clean, dirty, color of the clothes that they were wearing. You can do all of this, but don't, like ma'am said, don't do it in the middle when they're watching. Don't keep talking when they're watching, because that's not the whole point of a leisure time. If I am talking to you when you're watching the news, I'm pretty sure you're just going to get very upset, right? Now, this is something that we'd also shared with you, the shared reading, a video we'd shared with you. And we're going to go a little more in detail with this, okay? So shared reading is basically where it is reading together. So you look at a book, keep your Avaz with you and read together, okay? It helps in building expressive vocabulary, obviously, because you're looking at different words, you're pointing to different words. Comprehension, because you're constantly engaging with the text. listening skills, building rapport, you're working together with your child. No expectations again from the child to always respond. You're modeling for the child. Gives a habit of reading, exposure to the different concepts. Now, once you start reading one book, it's not like you're going to stop with just that one book, right? You're going to go into different books and different concepts. So many things that you can get in. Language, prepositions, so many things that can happen. It's also a good way because books, I believe, are the best way to teach social skills because there's so many perspectives that can come up with just one story that you have. So many emotions that you can talk about. And it's not yours. So it's a third person that you're talking about, a third person's perspective, a third person's emotions that you're discussing. It's less freaky. It's less scary to talk about it. It's easier to understand. Again, not demand oriented. Again, it's not a task. Again, it's on you to enjoy the activity and make it happen. Model, model, model again. Pick a book that the child is familiar with or likes or is colorful or is something that the child automatically went for. And customize the app to include the core words that you want to teach. Okay. So now this is one of the techniques that we could use, okay, while you're doing shared reading. Comment first, comment, ask, and respond. So it's called CAR. So comment on what's happening in the story. So suppose you're reading a story about some cake or whatever, you can say that cake looks yummy. Then you ask a question. What is that boy eating? And as soon as you ask the question, you don't have to answer. Wait for 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. See if your child is able to answer the question. Respond by adding more. So if that story, there is somebody eating a chocolate cake, you can answer chocolate, but you could also respond by adding more and saying, I like chocolate cake too. Okay, so you are modeling so basically shared reading is a way of building language. Okay. Now, once that, you could also put crowd in the car. That's what they call it. So where you're saying you encourage the child to fill in the blank. Okay, he finally found his what? So ball. Recall. Now let's talk about what happened in the story. What did he lose? The ball. Open-ended questions. There is no specific answer. There's no right or wrong answer. Do you want to tell me something that happened in the story? It could be anything. The child could just press on ball. Yeah, there was a ball. The child lost the ball. Okay. You ask what was on the desk. Again, ball. Yeah. Okay. Distance. Now you talk about, can you connect some part of that story with the child? So this would require a little more understanding. So first start with the car and then put the crowd in the car. So can you have a little more? Now, do you remember the time that we had lost that red ball? Okay, so then you go into a little more of making it closer to my experience, to the child's experience. Okay. All right, so we're going to try a shared reading activity. Papers and pens with you, please. And I don't know why I'm not able to stop this. Why is this not stopping? Yeah. All right. Hey, what is happening with my screen? What is this?
It's looking all black.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Just stop sharing and reshare it.
Yeah. Suddenly something goes wrong with this computer. Okay. I'll also share these stories with you so you could have it. And I think we've also spoken about using the Pratham books. So a lot of you who've used Pratham books will be able to use these kind of stories. Okay. So can you all have your Avaz out with you? Okay. And this is how we would read the story. Okay. Okay, this is called the lost ball. And you would say, okay, Shaju, Mitu, Imon, and Jami are ready to, and you use your avaz to say play. Okay. So, has anybody started off with your avaz? You can unmute.
Yes.
Play.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to say Shaju, Mitu, Imon, and who's this? Jami are ready to play. Where is it?
The action words.
It's in the action words. It's also in the core
Yeah.
words. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Go back. Clear.
Jami says, hold on. So suppose your main word that you're teaching is go. Okay. I'll go. Where is go? In the core words. Okay. Get. I'll go get my ball. Okay. The ball is probably in the toys. Okay.
Ask me yes, no questions.
Who should I ask? Yes, no questions.
Sorry, ma'am.
Did you find the ball? I'm asking you a yes, no question. Did you find the ball?
That's what I'm searching, ma'am.
Okay.
Keep
I
me
think,
confused.
how do I show you both? I can't show both, no?
So just search for it, no, Saraswati, just search for the word ball
Yeah.
and it will show you the path.
Search
In
for
the
it, yeah.
search, yes.
Ball.
Keyboard.
It should be there in the basic and maybe things. If you look in the basic, you will have
Basic and
Basic.
play.
Kind of things.
yeah,
Basic
in
and
things or
play or
play, yeah.
things, yeah.
Okay, play. Ball.
Ball.
I got it, ma'am.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Ball.
Okay. Now Jami rushes into his room as his friends wait outside. Okay. You could choose wait. Okay.
Getting
So
started.
where is wait?
Help.
Yes.
Foreign
you can
actions.
help with.
Ball, help. Keyboard. Delete word.
Wait.
Somebody found wait. Where is wait?
Yeah.
Action.
Actions. Where is actions?
Basic actions.
I'm going to stop answering, Parveen, ma'am.
Word.
You're like this teacher who's helping. Okay. Okay. So you have wait outside. You also have, yeah.
Actions.
So obviously, if you're going to look at it one after the other, you're going to find it difficult. So what you could do is you could have the words ready and you could have all your words together, right? So you could
Yeah.
have all the questions. Yes, no, not, feel, I, my, you. These are the words that you might be using for this thing. So you make a folder, okay, for all of this, right?
Yeah.
So when you're using shared reading, you could create a folder. You read the story first. You identify which word you want to target. Is it want? Is it go? Is it play? Is it get? Is it whatever else that is? And you can talk about it. So rushed to help. So what does rushed to help mean? It means that he ran, went really fast, whatever the word you are choosing to, use. Okay. Danu, anything you want to add?
Yeah, so just wanted to say, like, if anybody is like, if anybody is saying like, then okay, this is what I used to do. I already made it. Okay, doing it for reading and story is different. Okay, just like how Smita showed for a story, because there are so many different words, and you would want even new words probably in the story. You can make a different folder for a shared reading or a story, and you can put it like this. But again, you will have to have everything in it. You will have to have your verbs and your prepositions and your short words and your phrases and a little bit of everything, so that the child goes and finds it. So now what is the purpose of this folder is, using this folder, the child will one day will have to tell you the story. Okay, that means the child is going to narrate it back to you. When you are going to start, you're not going to start with an expectation. But as you're going to go, as the child rehearses this, I mean, keep listening to the story, the child will develop the habit of finding out the words and telling that Jami rushed outside. Now, that itself is a very short sentence. And that is something that the child would be very, very easily able to do on the using the Avaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fatima ma'am, these are available on Storyweaver. Okay, and it's also, I will also send it to you with these, so you could all customize it according to this. It's available on the Avaz app, so it's a lot to search deep inside. So I'll share it with you. It's already there with me. Okay, so there's also a lot of how do you, okay, I don't know why this is not showing up, but there are also some suggestions on how you could use it. Okay.
And
So
I think, Danu and Smita, another reason why you should use it this way when you read stories is because you want to have the fun of the story.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
you
I
don't
just
want to
thought
be
about
going back and forth
Going
and
back
looking
and
for
forth.
it, right?
Exactly, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So I just thought that I didn't mention that.
Yeah, yeah.
Even listen to the story when I said Jami and whoever was doing whatever. None of you, right? Like everybody was looking
Yeah.
like where is play, where is
Correct.
ball, where is this, where is that. Okay.
Correct.
So the
Yeah.
point is put them all together so they can go and look for it quickly, and it helps.
Yeah, and this you can do with like, I'm just talking to Fatima here because I know Mohammed likes about animals and these things. So if you're watching a little clip of about something, you could actually have the words that you want to pick up from the clip put into a sheet on Avaz that can be used for him to talk back about it. You know?
Yeah.
So if your child has a specific interest, for example, football or cricket, and you're watching something on TV on that, isn't it, Smita? So that can be your shared reading. So that can be your shared watching or your shared reading or whatever you are doing, right?
Yeah. You can use these concepts. Basically, it's not to, again, like we keep coming. So there is also a thing about shared writing, right? So where one person writes or says something, and then you add to it, and then the other person adds. And then, so that's the whole. It's about wherever you are able to share and communicate together. So whether you're doing it while you're watching TV, whether you're doing it while you're watching something together, a football match, and that's how we communicate. We're always sharing together, we're doing things together. So
and just one more thing is that you are open to modifying this. Okay, when you're doing a shared reading, just correct me here if I'm wrong, Smita. So the thing is that you might have words like Jami stubbed his toe. Okay, something like a word called stub might not be in the child's vocabulary. What you can do is like you can put the word hurt when you're doing it on Avaz, and you when you're reading it, you say, it means Jami stubbed his toe means he hurt his toe. So you can do that. So that will again improve their vocabularies.
Yes. Is this doable? I just want I'm going to stop sharing here and just quickly take a vote from all of you. Show me with the raise of hands or something. Is there something that you would do? We have our teachers also here, and teachers we need from you also.
Yes, yes.
You can't say you won't do it, so you all don't have
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. For the parents, do you all think it can be done? Do you feel like this is something you would want to do?
Smita, I'm just thinking. So, I think this could be a much more easier to do than to bring in questions and conversations, isn't it? Isn't it? So this could be actually be much easier because you have material with you that you're using, and you're just picking words from that. Oh?
Yeah.
So if you go to Storyweaver, there are so many levels of reading. They actually have a leveled reading program. So you can pick up the very, very basic ones and just start with that.
Yeah. I think somebody is also using, what was it, ma'am, that I said that Suman was using?
The Alexa.
Khan
Khan
Academy.
Academy. Khan Academy.
Academy.
also
Khan
has
Academy, huh?
for
Yeah,
children,
yeah.
they have reading material. You could use all
Yes,
those.
yes.
And this is my favorite personally because I feel like a lot of language develops when you have scripts,
Yeah.
when you have reading materials.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Even
Saraswati
Bob's
ma'am has a doubt.
books are really good.
Which ones?
Bob books.
Bob's
Bob
books.
Yeah, I think a lot of our students have done Bob books.
So, you know, something, Divya, again, is that, you know, keep in mind the age of your child. So, you know, for Akshat, for Mohammed, for all our young adults, you know, you should go into more advanced things. You know, like just more reading about science and reading about
Yes.
so you can
Newspapers.
actually get a lot of you can get a lot of such material even in Story Weaver or the BBC reading books or any of those.
Yeah.
I have actually kept. I have downloaded one app on his iPad which has Atlas, and it shows like all the places of the world, and then there is a world culture in that.
Yeah.
And there is another app which has like basic human anatomy, the science.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the very
all
nice
these
picture and
resources that you
animation
have.
it
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
These resources that you have for us as well.
Yeah. Please share it with us. Put it in the group, Divya, so
Put it in
that
the
we can
group,
all
yeah.
look at them.
Sure, ma'am. I'll do that.
Yeah. Saraswati ma'am, do you have a doubt?
Yes, ma'am. I think I messed up a little bit. As I was setting up hi and bye, I tried to hide the other things like good morning pictures and all those. Now I'm not able to retrieve it back. Is
Go
that
back?
correct?
Okay,
Go
we'll
back.
Did
get
it
you by
get deleted? Are you? Yeah. Okay.
So
No, I didn't delete it. I said it is done, hide and then done. But I'm not finding those pictures anywhere now.
So go back to edit. Go back to
So
edit.
after we finish this session, we'll get back to you. We'll tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Thank
Because
you.
we just have a little bit more to share with the rest of them, and then we can do it together.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Thank you.
some of the strategies that no problem. Some of the strategies that we just want to bring to your attention now. Okay, accept all forms of communication, whether it's pointing, gestures, body language, any of it. Okay, and you can model using Avaz. The other thing that you could do is self-talk and parallel talk. Okay, so while suppose you're baking cake, and what would self-talk be? You're doing whatever actions you are doing, you're talking about it. So you say, I am baking a cake. I'm going to put in the flour first. Now you want to say something.
No, I was just saying that, sometimes you might think self-talk is too much.
Yes.
Okay. We don't do self-talk a lot because we feel very irritated when you're doing self-talk. But just keep in mind when you're watching a recipe, when you're watching one of the recipes that they do on TV, right? They do a lot of self-talk because otherwise you would get bored just simply watching, right? They would say that you would want to mix in a little by little, and meanwhile they're doing it. And that's exactly what your child needs. Sorry, Smita, go on.
Yeah,
No, Danu ma'am, actually we also do that, but it's what we do is